The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead like angry hornets as Jasmine slid the check across the scarred formica table. Steve Harvey sat there, larger than life in a crisp button-down, his eyes scanning the menu remnants with that trademark squint. She needed this table to turn. Rent was 2 days late, her mom's medical bills stacking like unpaid promises. "Sir," she said, voice steady despite the knot in her gut, "could I trouble you for a $5 tip? It's been a long shift." He paused, fork midway to his mouth, and looked up. Not with pity, but curiosity. The diner hummed around them, clinking plates, grease popping on the grill, the low murmur of late-night truckers. Jasmine, 24, black hair pulled into a tight bun, uniform stained from 12 hours on her feet, held her breath. Most celebs breeze through Atlanta spots like this, tossing 20s without a glance. But Steve, he was local legend, the voice that shaped mornings across the South. He set down his fork, pulled a napkin from the dispenser, scribbled something quick, deliberate, folded it once, slid it toward her with a 20 on top, not 5. "Read this later, young lady, and keep shining." He stood, tipped his hat, gone into the humid Georgia night before she could stammer thanks. Jasmine pocketed the cash, heart racing. What kind of game was this? She pocketed the napkin too, unfinished plates calling from other tables. The shift dragged, spilled coffee, a drunk hollering for refills, her feet throbbing like open wounds. By closing time, 2 a.m., the diner emptied, rain pattering the windows like impatient fingers. Alone in the break room, she unfolded the napkin. "Not just a tip. Invest in you. Start small. Dream bigger. SH." 6 words. Simple ink on cheap paper, but they hit like a freight train. Jasmine stared, the words blurring under the dim bulb. She dreamed once of college, a business degree, owning her own spot instead of slinging hash for pennies. Life derailed her. Mum's illness 5 years back, dropping out at 19, trapped in this cycle. The 20 burned in her pocket. But those words, they ignited something dormant. If you're hooked on stories that twist fate in unexpected ways, hit that subscribe button right now, share this with a friend who needs a spark, and drop a comment below. Where are you watching from tonight? Let's build this community. Dawn crept in, grey and unforgiving. Jasmine didn't sleep. She brewed coffee strong as regret, sat at her kitchen table in the cramped Decatur apartment. Rent due. Bills mocking from the counter. That napkin stared back. Invest in you. Okay, Steve. Small steps. She Googled free community college courses, night classes in entrepreneurship, just 10 minutes from the diner. Application due Friday. Her hands shook as she filled it out, lies about her dropout status itching like wool. But why not? She'd served worse than her own doubts. First class hit like a slap, room full of dreamers and skeptics, instructor a no-nonsense woman named Ms. Ellis with a voice like gravel. Ideas are cheap. Execution bleeds you dry. Jasmine absorbed it, notebook filling with frantic scribbles. Days blurred, diner shifts by day, classes by night, feet screaming, eyes burning. Co-workers noticed. "Girl, you lookin' haunted," said Carla, her fellow waitress, flipping burgers. Jasmine shrugged. Chasing ghosts. 2 months in, the napkin lived in her apron pocket, worn soft. Assignment, business plan. Hers, a mobile food truck, soul food with a twist. Healthy twists on fried chicken, collards, cornbread for the gym crowd. Atlanta's food scene boomed. Food trucks lined the streets like hungry wolves. But capital, zero. She pitched it anyway. Ms. Ellis nodded once. Raw, but possible. Bootstrap it. Tensions mounted. Mom's condition worsened. Another hospital visit, Jasmine juggling shifts and vigils. "Why you killing yourself, baby?" Mom whispered from the bed, IV dripping slow. Jasmine squeezed her hand. "For us. Watch." But doubt clawed. A bad night at the diner? Manager docked her pay for a spilled tray, truckers leering too close. She snapped at Carla. "Back off! I got this!" Alone in the alley, rain soaking her, she pulled the napkin. Ink smudged but legible. Dream bigger, pivot time, no bank loans for dropouts. She hit the streets, farmers markets, church lots, sold homemade peach cobbler from a cooler, $50 first weekend. 50 turned to 200. Instagram popped, pics of golden crusts, captions raw, from diner plates to your plate. Followers trickled, locals, then influencers. A food blog shout out, hidden gem in ATL. Orders surged, but cracks showed. Moms stabilized, thank God, yet jealousy brewed. Carla cornered her one shift. "Steve Harvey napkin, please. You think one note changes everything? World's rigged, Jazz." Jasmine fired back, voice low. "Rigged? Yeah, but I'm hacking it." Tension simmered. Manager noticed sales dipping, her side hustle pulling her away. Full commitment or out. Ultimatum. She quit. Heart pounding, last paycheck in hand. Used it all. Ancient van from Craigslist. Permits scraped together. Painted it herself. Soul fuel. Midnight under streetlights. Paint fumes thick. Launch day, Midtown Festival. Sun brutal, crowds thick. First hour crickets, stomach knotted. Then a line. Influencer from Insta filming bites. "This cornbread slaps." Sales exploded. $400. Tears pricked, but she blinked them back. Tension coiled. One bad day could end it. Months ground on. Truck parked at breweries, events, debt mounted, tires, generator. Sleepless nights calculating margins. A rival truck owner, slick-talking Derek, muscled in. "Prime spot's mine, sweetheart, move." Threats veiled in smiles. Jasmine stood firm, 5'4" against his bulk. "Earn it." Fistfights avoided, but nerves frayed. She doubled down, catering gigs, pop-ups. Followers hit 10,000, a local news spot. Waitress to wheels. Pinnacle cracked open. Shark Tank knockoff pitch. Atlanta investors, stuffy suits in a high-rise. She walked in, napkin in pocket like talisman. Voice steady. "From a $5 ask to this." Slides clicked. Projections, napkin scan, blown up. Silence. Then nods. 20 grand seed money. No angels, just math and grit. 1 year post-napkin. Jasmine's truck fleet. 2 now. Mom at the first one, beaming from a lawn chair. Carla showed up, hat in hand. "You did it." Jasmine nodded, no gloat. One step, but inside. Revolution. Steve's words weren't magic. They were mirror, forcing her to see the fighter buried under fatigue, yet complexity lingered. Success isolated, dates fizzled, men intimidated by her drive. Mom's health a tightrope, rivals circled. She stared at the original napkin, framed now in her tiny office. "Invest in you." Past tense victory, present tense war. If this tale of quiet revolution gripped you, smash subscribe for more cinematic twists, share with someone grinding in silence, and comment your location. Let's see the map light up. What's your napkin moment? Stay tuned for the next chapter in Lives Rewritten. Nia Jackson's hands trembled as she stuffed the napkin into her apron pocket, the diner's fluorescent buzz fading behind her like a bad dream. Steve Harvey had already vanished into the night, his laugh echoing in her mind, genuine, not mocking. She'd asked for $5, bold as brass after a 12-hour shift, her feet throbbing in worn sneakers. He didn't hand cash, just scribbled on that napkin and slid it across the greasy Formica. Back in her cramped apartment off Peachtree Street in Atlanta, the kind with peeling wallpaper and a fridge that hummed like an angry hornet, Nia kicked off her shoes. Her one-bedroom smelled of leftover takeout and baby powder. Her 5-year-old nephew Jamal, asleep in the next room, courtesy of her sister's latest vanishing act. Rent due in 7 days. Tips short again. She pulled out the napkin, unfolded it slow. There, under a crisp $5 bill taped neat words in sharp black ink, "Nia, your hustle's real. But tips won't build empires. Call 404-555-0192 at exactly 9 a.m. tomorrow. Tell them Steve sent you for the server spotlight slot. Prove me right. Shach, her pulse spiked. Server spotlight. Sounded like one of those infomercial gigs. Scam. Steve Harvey didn't run scams. But why her? She'd cracked jokes with rowdy truckers all night, kept the coffee flowing, dodged the grabs. Routine, invisible. Yet he'd noticed, watched. Clock glowed 1:47 a.m. Sleep clawed at her, but doubt gnawed deeper. What if it was pity, or worse, a test she'd fail? Nia crumpled the napkin halfway, then smoothed it. Jamal stirred. She whispered to the dark, "Auntie's got this." Alarm set, no snooze. Morning hit like a freight train. Atlanta's summer humidity slicked the air, cars honking outside as she bolted upright at 8:45. Coffee scalded her tongue. Phone in hand, she paced the linoleum, rehearsing. "Hi, Steve sent me." Fingers hovered. What if voicemail? Busy signal. Rejection. 9 sharp. Dialed. Ringing. Once. Twice. Click. Harvey Productions, Lila speaking. Hi, Steve sent me. For the server spotlight." "Nia Jackson." Pause, papers rustling. "ID number on the napkin." She read it off. TL 47. "Gotcha. Auditions at noon, CNN Center, 3rd floor. Bring your A-game. No heels. Real servers don't trip." Nia hung up, stomach twisting. Audition? She wasn't an actress. Just a girl from Bankhead who slung hash browns since 16. But the napkin burned in her pocket like a contract. CNN Center loomed downtown, glass towers mocking her thrift store blouse. Security eyed her braids, her scuffed bag. Elevator dinged. Room 312. Folding chairs, 10 others waiting, mostly polished types with headshots, one guy practicing lines under his breath. Nia sat last, knees bouncing. They called her fourth. Inside, stark lights, camera on tripod, Lila, mid-40s, no-nonsense Bob, behind a desk. 30 seconds. Pretend you're serving me. Upsell the special. Go. Nia froze. Then instinct kicked. "Morning, sugar. Our peach cobbler's fresh from the oven. Georgia peaches. Not that canned junk. Pair it with coffee, black as midnight, and you'll swear it's Sunday brunch at Grandma's. Trust me, one bite, you're hooked." Lila's pen stopped. Smirk. "Energy's good, feisty. Steve pegged it. You're in callbacks tomorrow. Don't flake." Nia floated out, but reality crashed blocks away. Bus late, Jamal's daycare pickup in an hour. Boss texting, cover double shift? She ignored it. Callbacks meant what? Exposure? Pay? Night blurred. She practiced in the mirror, voice steadying. Jamal watched wide-eyed. "Auntie a star?" "Maybe, baby. Stars grind first." Next day, callbacks packed tighter. 20 now, rivals sharpening elbows. A tall sister named Kendra, resume stacked, whispered, "Heard it's for a game show segment. Servers competing live. You prepped?" Nia shrugged. "No prep, just napkin faith." Her turn. Scenario shifted. Difficult customer. De-escalate. Sell anyway. Nia channeled every diner nightmare. "Sir, I get it. Day's rough. But this steak's grilled perfect, juicy as forbidden fruit. Let me fix that side on me. You'll leave smiling." Camera caught her grin. Real, unforced. Lila nodded post-run. "You've got that spark. Harvey's greenlighting a pilot. Waitstaff warriors. Real servers, real challenges, national TV. Your top 3, contract Friday." Top 3. Nia's world tilted. Kendra glared from the hall. "Luck, girl. I've trained years." Tension coiled. Was it luck, or the napkin unlocking what simmered inside? Friday dawned stormy, thunder-rattling windows. Harvey Productions lobby, suits everywhere. Nia in her best jeans, hair twisted neat. Lila waved her in. Steve Harvey himself, larger than life, suit impeccable, leaned on the desk. "Nia Jackson, told you." She swallowed. "That napkin, I almost tossed it." He chuckled low. "Most do. Doubts the real thief. This gig, 5 episodes, 20 grand base. But it's the door. Brands watch. Network Scout, your story sells. Single aunt raising family. Atlanta grit. Build from there. Contract slid over. Fine print blurred. Non-compete. Travel? She signed, hand steady now. Kendra didn't. Flaked on a line read, pilot shoot week later. Set buzzed like the diner on steroids. Nia upsold props, bantered with contestants. Camera loving her fire. Ratings popped. Offers trickled. Local ads. Speaking gigs at community colleges. From napkins to spotlights, headlines buzzed. But tension lingered. First big check. Daycare paid, rent squared, but sister back sniffing cash. Help me out, sis. Nia drew line. Earn your own napkin. Months in, Nia launched side hustle, pop-up soul food at markets, her peach cobbler pitch drawing lines. Steve called once, proud kid, write your sequel. She did. Not magic, grit. That napkin, first brick in her empire. Doubt whispered still, but she out-hustled it daily. If this twist gripped you like Nia's first call, smash subscribe for more stories of quiet pivots turning loud. Share with that hustler in your circle who needs the nudge. Drop your city below. Atlanta lighting up. Your napkin note. Hit play on the finale next, where doubts fight back hardest. Layla clutched the napkin like a fragile contract with fate, her fingers tracing the bold ink. Dream bigger. Call this number. Your voice needs the stage. Steve. The diner lights buzzed overhead, casting long shadows across the empty booths. It was 2 a.m. in Atlanta's heart, where the humid night air clung to her skin like unspoken regrets. She had asked for $5, straight up, no games, after spotting the TV legend nursing coffee at her counter. Steve Harvey, not for pity, for proof she could demand more. Her shift ended in silence. The napkin burned in her pocket. Home was a cramped apartment off Peachtree, shared with dreams that gathered dust. Layla, 24, black girl from the block by Grant Park, had slinged plates since 18. Voice like velvet thunder, roar from church choirs and open mics that paid in claps. But bills don't bow to talent. That bold ask, born from a viral clip of her singing to a rowdy brunch crowd, Steve overheard, smiled, scribbled. Dawn cracked the skyline. Phone in hand, she paced the fire escape. Dial or delete. The number stared back. His production team's line. What if it's pity? What if rejection tastes like yesterday's grease? Heart hammered. She hit call. Harvey Enterprises, a crisp voice answered. Layla James. Steve gave me this number. Napkin at Waffle House. Pause. Papers rustled. Hold. Minutes stretched, sweat beaded. Then, Miss James, Steve wants to hear you tomorrow, 10 a.m., studios on 10th, bring your fire. She hung up. Room spun. Audition? For what? His show? Family Feud skits? No details. Just a shot. But Atlanta's grind whispered doubts. Mama's voice echoed. Servers stay servers, baby. Stars burn out. Studio lobby gleamed like fool's gold. Layla smoothed her thrifted blazer, heels clicking on marble. Receptionist eyed her. Young, braided hair neat, but waitress calluses on palms. Harvey's running late. Wait here. Hours ticked. Imposter syndrome clawed. Girls in sequins breezed past, polished, connected. She scrolled her phone. Old rejection emails from labels. Voice too regional. Market saturated. Napkin felt small now, crumpled. Steve burst in at noon, entourage trailing. Sharp suit, that signature grin masking a hawk's eye. Layla, the napkin girl. You showed. She stood, voice steady, barely. Had to. You said dream bigger. He laughed, deep and real. Led her to a sound booth, no script. Sing whatever moves you, producers listening. Mic in hand. Glass walls. Suits beyond. Pens poised. Silence crushed. She thought of empty tip jars. Nights harmonizing to freight trains. Then breath in. First note, a soul riff on Ain't No Way, Aretha Raw. Voice poured, layered. Bent notes like Atlanta bends around its secrets. Booth fogged with her heat. Applause leaked through speakers. Steve nodded. That's the hook. We're building a segment. Undiscovered Voices. You host it. Pilot next month. Pay starts now. World tilted. Host. Not backup singer. Her face on screens. But elation soured fast. Contracts landed. Fine print thick as kudzu. Non-compete clauses. Relocation hints to L.A. Mama called mid-signing. Girl, that's showbiz traps. Come home. Doubts roared back. First rehearsal, co-host. A polished vet, side-eyed her accent. Toned down the A-Town slang, national don't get it. Reels flopped online, trolls hit. Token higher, views dipped. Sponsors pulled whispers. Layla stared at the napkin nightly. Dream bigger, but bigger meant bridges burning. Dinah called back, old boss. Spot open if it crashes. Friends partied on, she isolated in edits. Sleep fled, mirrors lied, eyes hollow, fire dim. Pivot night, live taping, lights blinded, crowd electric. Her intro, from Waffle House to worldwide, stories like mine. Voice cracked mid-segment, guest flubbed lines, teleprompter froze. Panic surged, dive or drown. She ad-libbed, pulled a napkin from pocket, hers now, inked with her own mantra. Own the stage. Rift freestyle. Crowd leaned in. Laughter built, vulnerability hooked them, ratings spiked post-air, but the real war? Inner ring, agent pushed, go viral or go home, more edge. Edge meant compromising, skimpier sets, louder drama. She refused, quit the agent, pitched solo, real voices, no filters. Studios balked, checks bounced late. Rock bottom, eviction notice. Mama's couch. Napkin yellowed. Steve texted, doubts hit hardest before dawn. Fight. She did. Bootstrapped a YouTube pilot. Napkin dreams. Raw interviews. Hustlers from Decatur dives to Midtown moguls. Her voice narrated. Views climbed organic. 10K, 100K, brand deals trickled, no suits, her terms, 1 year post-napkin, Atlanta premiere party, her short film From Tip to Throne. Steve in front row, nodding, Layla on stage, no blazer, just power. That $5 ask, bought a mirror, saw myself. Crowd rose, but she knew, no fairy dust. Success clawed daily, new doubts lurked, scalability, burnout. Yet the napkin, framed in her office. Reminder, bold asks, rewrite scripts. Now, pivots echo louder than ever. If this napkin nudge hit home, smash that subscribe. Join the circle rewriting rules. Share with your hustler needing fire. Drop your city below. Chicago grinding, LA dreaming, Atlanta still king? And comment your napkin moment. What bold move changed your path? Hit like turn on bells, we're just heating up. Fade to your next breakthrough.